Hi, I'm Steve of Steve Selman Photography. Welcome to my channel. In this channel, we'll talk about the gear I use to create, we'll do shoot breakdowns, and we'll also interview like-minded creators. So join me in this journey. Let's get it. Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Steve of Steve Selman Photography, and today we have a very special guest. His name is Paul Ward. Say hi, Paul.
Hi, Paul.
Paul is a fine art nude photographer, so hopefully today we don't get in trouble with the YouTube algorithm talking about his work, but it is art. So let's get started. So Paul, can you tell me about your upbringing and what got you started in fine art nude photography?
Upbringing, very conservative Caribbean. My mom's from St. Vincent. Father's mom is also from St. Vincent. So there's a lot of church every Sunday.
Wow. Wow. Yeah, I mean, that is something that we have all come to, experience growing up in the Caribbean. My parents are also very religious. So it was always a very tough topic, and especially that first topic of when, my mom first found out that I was shooting, people in the nude.
Yeah.
I don't even want to say the word naked people.
Right.
but-
Right. Taboo.
Taboo,
Right.
Yeah, we always try to find ways to soften that landing.
Right.
So tell me a little bit more about how you got into fine art nude photography.
Well, I didn't jump right into that. I started off with portraiture,
Mm-hmm.
and then I moved to commercial and fashion.
Okay.
When the plus modeling thing hit back in, what was it, the 90s?
Okay.
I was right there in the middle of it.
Okay.
And then I decided to move over to fine art nude photography because it was something that I saw was as a challenge.
Mm.
And to touch on my conservative cultural background is a little bit of a rebellion against that too.
Right.
Because a lot of conservative people, I tell them that it's it's sexy, it's sexy stuff, and it's like, no, it's not supposed to be that.
Right.
And and a lot of the people can't understand when I tell them my model is the old Greco-Roman statuary from ancient times.
Yes.
All of those
yes.
statues are pretty much in the nude or covered with a drape
Mhm.
of some kind.
Mm-hmm.
Even some of the like Michelangelo statues, like David,
Yes.
those are nudes.
Yes. Yes.
And that's from a later time, but still what most modern people would consider antiquity.
Yes.
So those are my models.
So we have some of your work here.
Yeah.
So can you showcase some of the stuff that you have here in your printed portfolio?
Yes.
Which is a thing that everyone still loves to see
Yes.
and do.
Yes.
So can you tell me about, let's say this image, how would you go about sourcing your models? How would you go about, having that conversation with a model the first time that you meet someone?
Right. Well, as far as sourcing them, there are various websites out there that you can find freelance models. And on those profiles, you'll see the model's picture, of all the genres that they're interested in participating in.
I see.
So it's a database. So you go and you search. So if I'm shooting fine art nudes, I'd search for fine art nude models. And then I would go through the results and see somebody with a look or a body type that I'm looking to shoot for.
Mm-hmm.
And then I would send them a message and ask them what their rates are
Mm-hmm.
and if they're interested in shooting with me.
I see.
So at the beginning, I was using those websites exclusively, but later on, word got around that I was doing this, and a lot of the models will tell their other friends, like, "Oh, this guy does good work. You should work with him. See if he's willing to hire you." Or this guy's safe. He's a professional. You should go work with him.
Right. And, one of the misconceptions of fine art nude photography is that, well, most of us, I can speak for both of us, we get into it because we like to study the art of the human body. It is not because we want to see naked people.
Right.
It's more of a study of the human form. Million ways to shoot the human body. Different body types, different creeds, different races, and it's almost like a documentation of the human race at its purest form. So that's how I see it.
Right.
I don't know if that's how you look at it. And there's beauty in the human form.
Yes, there is.
And that's pretty much why we get into it.
Right.
So here's a male model.
Right.
I guess this is your baluster in your home, right?
Yes, that's actually in my grandmother's place before they fixed it up. There's tenants there now, so I no longer have access to that spot.
Pretty cool, pretty cool. So, and then as we flip here, so again, it's about conceal, reveal, and conceal,
Right.
right? Oh, that's how you would see.
So this
that
one is a vertical shot.
right. Okay.
Right.
Okay.
And
And then this one.
this one was back the other way. Horizontal shot.
Yes. Right.
Right.
That's pretty cool.
That's actually the same male model from the first image, and one of the ballerinas who's very, very flexible and has contortion training.
Wow. Wow.
Very popular. Also, she gets hired a lot because
Wow.
her work ethic is excellent.
That's an amazing shot.
Thanks.
Yeah. Wow. The tone, the juxtaposition between the almost
Skin tones,
almost that yin and yang
right.
of images. So there's so much to study in just this one image.
Right.
Right. And there's nothing sexual about it.
No.
It's almost like a comfort.
It is.
Yeah.
Just her whole mannerism in her face is very relaxed.
Yes.
And of course, this is necessary for him to hold her foot because no matter how strong she is, I don't think anybody can hold a pose like that.
That
just
is
their
true.
muscle.
That is true.
Wow.
Wow. And so now going forward,
these are two verticals.
Mm-hmm. That's amazing. Wow. So I love your use of your space. Like looking at this photo here is very well weighted. How you have the radiator and the model, and the all the peeling plaster. All of this is well. The composition is amazing.
Right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Wow. These are amazing shots. So can you tell me, you are a civil servant, your day job, and photography for you is pretty much a hobby.
Yes.
Can you tell me how you balance those two things? What does one do for the other?
Well, because my schedule is so crazy, even though I have a regular schedule, it's still not a time when a lot of people are available. So I basically only shoot on my days off.
I see.
When I shoot at all, I shoot on my days off. So it balances very easily because I work Monday to Friday, finally, and I have Saturday, Sunday off. So those are the days when I shoot, if I shoot.
Wow. And this portfolio is amazing, Paul.
Thank you.
The tone, I see you have a love for,
using tones.
Yes. Using tones.
Color tones. Yeah.
Yes. Let's see. There's that one page. Yes, it is. All right. So you can tell me about this image. What do you love about it?
Well, you can't really tell because the model, that's a male model. He's in excellent shape. He's actually, I think at the time he was in his early 60s.
Wow.
And the whole hiding of the face thing, I wanted to do more of that so that people view the model's body as more of an abstract object and try to not to dehumanize, but to use it just for people to see it as a blank canvas of light.
I see.
Light playing across the different his muscle tone here along the leg,
right,
or even here.
Yeah, because what makes us human, what gives us individuality, is
our faces.
Our faces.
Right.
So taking that out of the equation.
Yeah, I try to do that, especially with models who are very good looking.
I see.
Because it's really hard, even with the abstract lighting I try to use, to take away a person's beauty. If somebody feels that they're attractive, I got to take away from that so that people don't look at the image and say, "Wow, that's a beautiful model, a woman, or a beautiful man."
Right.
I don't want to hear that.
So you strip gender.
I have to strip the gender. You may be able to tell. I mean,
yes,
you don't see a lot of men with glutes like that,
right, or hips,
and those kind of hips, right,
yes,
right.
Yes. Yeah. So your work has a very unifying thread,
right,
and I love that thread. Even though everything is individual,
yes,
it still has that unity.
Yeah.
And it seems like you were shooting in spaces that were like under construction or that were pretty old.
Well, this is actually, these two images here, this is actually the same spot.
Really?
This is before they fixed it up.
And
this is after they fixed it up.
Wow.
Personally, I prefer to shoot it in its dilapidated state
Yes,
because
because it adds so much character to the shot.
it adds character and it adds or I can't, how do you say, it's, or it makes the image organic.
Yes,
You brought up earlier about the peeling paint.
right.
That
Yes.
peeling paint's gone, as you can see in this image. Everything
Yes.
is all fixed up.
Right,
Everything is
right.
neat. Everything's clean. There's no dust. And
No asbestos.
no asbestos, right? I mean, I don't think there was any asbestos up there to begin with, because I
Right.
remember I was able to see through the ceiling because the
Yes.
ceiling was basically gone,
Right. Right.
and I didn't see anything that looked like asbestos up there.
Got it. Got it.
So I wouldn't have shot there if it wasn't safe.
So as we flip through the the portfolio,
Mm.
can you tell me what is your communication with a model at the time? I know most of these are probably seasoned models because
Yes.
you're paying someone for a service.
Yes.
Right. And to tangent off of that, you're paying someone for a service because at some point you will like to monetize all of this work. So that takes away all of the the morals and the legality of not having to worry about that at that point.
Oh, I still have to worry about it. Trust me.
So tell me what your communication is like from the beginning when you first find a model.
When I first find a model, like I said, on the website, it would be somebody who already shoots fine art nudes, and if they have fine art nude images in their portfolio, online portfolio already, I know they have experience.
Right.
I would not hire somebody who says they shoot fine art nudes and then has no fine art nudes in their portfolio.
I see.
Because if I'm hiring somebody and I'm paying them money, I want you to know your job.
Right.
I'm not going to hire somebody that has no experience and I got to teach them their job, and yet I'm paying for it.
Right.
And yet they want the full price as somebody who's been doing this for 10 years.
Yes.
That's not happening.
There's just that level of professionalism that
Yeah.
both people have to bring to the table.
Right.
Right.
And the other difference I wanted to point out is a lot of the glamour models, models who are usually hired for glamour, are not good at doing fine art nudes.
I see.
Because thumbing through this book, I know some of the models here are actually very, very good at it. Like her, she's very, very good at doing glamour work, and she's also very good at doing fine art nudes. But I think in her case, it's because of her athleticism. She's incredibly strong.
Yes.
I know a lot of the models in the past have told me, Paul, your shoots are like workouts. Because I'm usually trying to push their strength, and push their flexibility, within safe limits.
Yes.
But like getting back to the question, it would only be someone who already has experience doing fine art nudes, and once they come to the apartment, we agree on a rate and a time and how long they're going to shoot for. I let them warm themselves up by just doing poses that they know already.
I see.
Maybe about 10 or 15 minutes of that. And then I'll just tell them to keep going, and I'll tell them to stop, and then I'll modify it.
Got it.
So if somebody's doing something with their arms over their head, I'll tell them to stop and maybe turn their back towards me at the waist, so I can get more tension in the waist, and maybe trigger some muscle in the back if they have muscularity in the back and the shoulders.
I see.
So it's like an anatomy lesson of sorts.
Pretty cool. Wow. So because even this piece here, it is so graceful, but it is still very poetic in so many ways. And you can see if I had to do a pose like this, my back would have been crying 15 degrees before I got to this. It's kind of funny you should bring this one up, because this particular model, this is like this is a decade after I first shot her. Wow.
I first shot her when she was 19.
Wow.
And she's 29 in this photo.
Wow.
So I don't have any of the first ones in from 10 years ago in this book, but she was always one of the better models. She's very, very good. And she's a joy to work with. Worth every penny. She's a true professional, that one.
Wow. Yeah, no, this is a very, very good portfolio, Paul. I'm really enjoying all of this work. Yes. So how do you stay inspired to continue doing this work?
It's not easy, because the rates are very, very high right now. And like you said, I'm a poor civil servant. I don't have a lot of money to spend on this anymore. So, and to tell you the truth, normies, meaning regular people, who are not artistically inclined, for lack of a better term, don't have a real problem buying this kind of work.
I
There's
see.
always a partner problem of some kind.
I see. I
And it
see.
does that goes both ways. That's both men and women, but I see it more with men. And I'll tell you an anecdote. I had a supervisor at work
Mhm.
who was complimenting me on the work
Mhm.
when he saw my Instagram. And I said, "Well, why don't you buy a print?" He's like, "I'd love to, but I can't." I said, "Why can't you?" He said, I figured, does your girlfriend not want you to have another naked woman in the house? I was very blunt about it because I get that all the time.
All the time. Yeah. Yeah.
And he's
Yeah.
like, she wouldn't have a problem with it. So I'm
Wow.
like, what's the problem?
Mhm.
So he says, if I bring home one of these women from the book and put it up there, she's going to want a male model too. And
I
I don't
see.
want that.
So it's the
So that's like what would I call it? Double jealousy going in both directions.
it's
That's how I interpreted it. And I was like, really?
it's definitely the psychology of the whole matter,
So it's
yeah, yeah,
it's always a partner issue.
and that brings up another point. Unfortunately, we have in fine art nude photography, we have to deal with a lot of these issues. We might not want to, but we have to be okay with someone telling us 10 years from now, I was exploring with you when I first shot with you, but can you please take my images down from your portfolio or
Oh,
whatever?
I've been lucky enough where I haven't had to worry about that.
Okay,
I only work with, well, I can't say I only work with, but I've been lucky to work with full-time art nude models. I mean, they don't make
right.
all their bread from art nudes. A lot of them are very good at do very excellent glamour work also.
Yes, yes.
And a
And
lot of the models that I've worked with are primarily glamour models, but I know that they can do both because they're very a lot of them are very athletic and very strong
mhm,
and
mhm.
very professional in their attitudes. So I've been thankful for that. I haven't had to worry about anybody finding God all of a sudden, and then
And also most of these models are using stage names, right? To
oh yeah,
protect
they definitely have to protect themselves. All of
yes,
them are using. Very few of them use their real
the real
names.
names.
Yeah,
Yes,
very few of
yes.
them do.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you're traveling all the time, nobody's really gonna find you. If
Right.
you're bouncing all over the world, I mean, some of them are world travelers.
Yes, yes,
They
yes.
do
Some
this
of
they
them are
full time. They go around the
full
country, around the
time.
planet, and they're doing. And people hire them for shoots.
Yeah, I've heard some horror stories for traveling
Oh
models too,
yes, oh yes.
where they don't delineate when they cross borders their real intention for
Oh
being
yeah, yeah.
certain in the country.
Because technically you can't make money as a tourist.
Right. Yes.
So if
So
you're going over
that's
there on a
also
tourist
something that you
visa,
have to be aware of as a traveling model.
yeah,
Make your intentions known
yeah,
because the immigration services, they do check your social your social feeds
right,
and to see what you're up to.
right. I know one model got banned from this country
Yes, I
because
know.
she was reported by another model.
Are you serious?
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. She was reported by another model. Model reported her, and he reported her and said that she was coming here and making money, and she got banned from the country.
Wow, wow, because we get solicited from a lot of traveling models from Europe also.
Yeah,
So you can see where that can be a problem.
right.
So tell me, Paul, that brings up another issue. So tell me, how would you monetize all of this work? In a perfect world, what would be the best way
In a
to?
perfect world,
Yes.
a gallery show would be very helpful.
Okay.
But right now, I can't afford the production costs for a gallery show.
Right, because you have to do the large format prints,
Yes.
which are not cheap.
Not cheap.
Not cheap. The canvas, aluminum is all the craze right now.
Yeah.
To print a 30 by 40 aluminum is like $400.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're
So-
looking at, the compensation, the gallery,
Yeah.
the
The
DJ,
gallery. The gallery takes.
this,
The
the
gallery
catering.
takes half. The gallery takes at least half.
Right.
In most cases, and the art world is very cliquish.
Yes.
I don't know people.
Right.
I mean, I had told you earlier before we started that
Mhm.
I could have shown you all of the rejection letters,
yes.
the rejection emails that I've
Yes,
gotten from
yes,
various
yes.
galleries. And it's just like eventually it's going to be, well, this is not something I'm going to want to dump any more money into.
Right.
So,
right.
or I'll do it when I have the real urge. If I see somebody come into town, because I still keep tabs on people, people I've worked with before. I'm not really interested in cultivating any new relationships because building that kind of trust takes time.
Yes. And, also to, everyone wants a hand in the pot. So
Yeah.
if we had a publicist, they will also want to
They
take
got to
part.
get paid, yeah.
Right,
So it's
right.
like you end up losing money no matter how you slice it.
So one print would literally have to go for like 10 grand just to break even almost.
Depending if we're talking about all that kind of stuff that you mentioned just now, yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I prefer maybe to do an online gallery and hope somebody likes it enough to print it. And, because I have a ton of work that I can just put up there and see if it monetizes. A couple of people have said OnlyFans, but OnlyFans has that
Stigma.
stigma of just being a
Yes.
sex worker site, and I know
Right.
it's not true. I know some
Right.
MMA people are on there too,
Yes.
but I can't get past it yet. Right
Okay.
now, I mean, that might be an option because their policy against nudity is not going to go away like the other site did.
Yes. Yes.
So, but it came back. But still,
So you are one of the photographers that started in film, right? Shooting film.
oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I started
So-
shooting 35 millimeter film. I think my first film camera, 35 millimeter film camera, was a Nikon N70
Wow.
with a 35 to 70 or 35 to 80 kit lens, and then I also bought a 70 to 300 millimeter lens to go
Wow.
along with
Wow.
it. That was
And
my first.
Even back then, you had even more costs because development cost was the
Oh yes,
thing.
the
So,
development costs. Yeah,
yeah, because nowadays you buy a memory card and it stays in your computer.
yeah. Digital was a real money saver before the rates went through the roof.
Wow.
For hiring models. Yeah, it was a
Right.
real.
But now we still have costs. We still have storage costs like hard drives and
yeah.
we still have costs built into this, but it's a little cheaper. But in closing, Paul, so tell me, where do you see the future of your craft going?
Away from pictures.
Really?
Yeah, because at this point, I'd like to try to generate more money than I'm putting out.
Okay.
So I'm actually trying to switch over to making a YouTube channel and doing video portraits, non-nude, fully
Okay.
clothed.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah,
But even
seems
then-
like a more marketable service.
it is,
Yes.
but it's up to the subscribers,
Right.
and the rates are still the same.
I see.
We had that conversation in the drive over here,
Yes.
where
Yes.
it for New York anyway, it's between 125 to 150 per hour. Back when I started, there was sliding scale, which means you paid, let's say, $50 an hour for fully clothed, $75 an hour for lingerie,
Right.
and $100 an hour for
Yeah.
for art
my
nude
my
or
brain is
glamour
still
nude.
at $100 an hour.
Yeah. Now it's like 125 to 150 flat rate
Wow.
for anything.
Minimum 2 hours.
With a 2 hour minimum,
Yes.
up to whatever the model's limit is.
Right. Yeah. So I'll have Paul back again, to have another conversation on model etiquette. That's another topic that we would like to have both of us together.
Yeah.
How to communicate, how to talk, how to, deal with a model on set, because a lot of photographers now are getting into it for the wrong reasons. So we would like to educate, the youngins coming up, per se, to educate them on the craft, to make sure that they're not, diluting the work that we have started. So again, this is Paul Ward, and I thank you so much for coming by.
Thank you. You're welcome.
And I just want to remind you to like, subscribe, and follow this channel because it's a new channel. So any help that you can give me, I'll definitely appreciate it. So thank you so much. Have a good one.
Goodbye.